Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
Late for shows.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimble to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates, and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph.
And today we're closing out the month of Car Chase May with our pick from the classmates. Patreon members this week chose Blues Brothers.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
They want $5,000.
Guess you're really up shit creek.
Are you the police?
No, ma'am. We're musicians.
Don't you guys ever wear blue jeans or jumpsuits like Wayne Cochran and the CC Riders?
We're on a mission from God.
Good to see you, sweetheart.
You contemptible pig.
How much for the women?
I'm gonna catch that sucker.
Excuse me. See two guys coming here, black suits, black hats.
Sit them down there.
Thank you.
Oh, please don't kill us. You know I love you, baby. Let's go.
All right. Blues Brothers from 1980. This is directed by John Landis before he was shamed out of Hollywood. Written by Dan Aykroyd and John Landis, starring John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and a assortment of actual famous musicians like Cab Calloway, Shaka Khan, James Brown,
Aretha Franklin,
Ray Charles, and the rest. Also starring Carrie Fisher, a little of John Candy, and Frank Oz in there for a hot second. Yeah, as the corrections officer. So this is our Patreon pick from Car Chase May. It was at this time last week, I put the post out at the beginning of May. What movie do the Patreon want to see? And it's everybody. It's all levels of Patreon members. Anybody that cares to vote. But really, we only had one of like all these different choices, but no doubles up, no nothing. So I was going to put the post out. And while we were recording live, Angry Otter, a.k.a. Michael, said, I'm changing my vote to Blues Brothers. And then Heather chimed in on the Patreon and said, you know what? I'm okay with Blues Brothers too, which was originally chosen Blues Brothers by my Aunt Linda, one of the classmates. And this is a movie from my childhood that I never saw. I knew of the characters, and I just didn't get it. Like, I didn't get what the point was. It a joke? Were they supposed to be funny? Were they supposed to be actually like good performers? Or like, what is the point? I never got it at all, so I just never went into it. And it was a spin-off from Saturday Night Live, not because they were Saturday Night Live like sketch characters, but they were the Blues Brothers themselves. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi were performers on Saturday Night Live as the musical guests.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they started basically, they're like, oh, it's Steve Martin's the host and the Blues Brothers are the guest. And it was all the people from the movie performing on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
John Belushi singing, Dan Aykroyd doing backups and playing harmonica. And then all these other guitar players and bass players and all this kind of stuff actually playing.
So they were a legit band.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the kind of the history behind it originally was that so Dan Aykroyd was part of the original Saturday Night Live cast. My favorite of his was the Bass-O-Matic blender. It was like a infomercial, late night infomercial, like a Ron Popeil type thing. But he was a quick talking Chicago businessman who was selling the Bass-O-Matic, who could, debone and blend a bass in 2 seconds flat or 10 seconds flat. And he'd put a whole bass into this blender and blend it live on TV. and then pour a cup out and someone would drink it and that's fantastic. No, that's terrific bass.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and you could see where the cut was, where the cut, it was but it's so funny. And he's a really fast talking, great performer and writer. In this though, as Elwood Blues, he is just quiet, unassuming, and cool, where that's both of the Blues Brothers. Mm-hmm. So back then, when the Saturday Night Live originally started, Dan Aykroyd rented out a blues club that was called the Holland Tunnel Blues Bar. And he rented it out, and after the shows, a lot of times it was customary for people to go back as the after party and go to his blues club. And he filled the jukebox full of songs from Sam and Dave, the Violetones, and other bands, a lot of blues stuff. Belushi bought an amplifier and kept some of the musical instruments there for anyone who wanted to jam. And it was at that bar that Dan Aykroyd and Ron Gwynn wrote and developed the story, which he eventually turned into the draft for the Blues Brothers movie. And it was originally supposed to be 2 movies. It was like 300 pages long.
Damn.
Yeah, over the original script. And as a joke, he bound it with the front page on the front of a Yellow Pages book and handed it in, because it was a joke that was so long.
Yeah.
It was also at that bar that he introduced John Belushi to the blues. And what turned out to just be this fun thing turned into this fascination. And then before long, the two of them were singing local blues bands and local joints together. So jokingly, the SNL band leader, Howard Shore, suggested they call themselves the Blues Brothers. And
Howard Shore?
Yeah, Howard Shore.
The Howard Shore. Wow.
Yeah, he was like the head of the band. So in April 1988, Howard Shore gave an interview to the Chicago Sun-Times, and Aykroyd said that the Blues Brothers act borrowed from Sam and Dave and others, and the Sun-Times quoted him as explaining, well, obviously the duo thing and the dancing, but the hats came from John Lee Hooker, who was featured in the movie as the guitarist. The suits came from the concept that when you were a jazz player in the 40s and 50s and 60s, to look straight, you had to wear a suit. So the band was modeled in part on Dan Aykroyd's experience with Downchild Blues Band, one of the first professional blues bands in Canada, with whom Aykroyd played on occasion as a young man. Oh. So he was a musician also in his young days. So then around the 1970s, he went to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, where he lost interest in the blues, or gained interest in the blues, and it developed into occasionally performing and attending Ottawa's Lee Hebo Coffee House, which is basically a straight up blues coffee house. So the dude's got cred, but he was known as a comedian. So when the Blues Brothers came out as the movie, it was kind of like, what is it? Are these known characters? And they had like this whole aura and mythos behind the characters, which I thought was already established, but it wasn't. It was just this band that played on SNL, and then all of a sudden they made a movie, and they're like, where's the old Bluesmobile? Well, I don't know. I don't know if there ever was an original Bluesmobile, to be honest.
Yeah, we kind of start like in the middle of their sort of story.
He got out 3 years in the pen, gets out, which looks like he's being released from heaven with the big, huge backlight behind that giant gate.
Yeah.
So I was really honestly going into this 100% blind. I did a fair amount of research to look into it because it seems to be a beloved movie that made almost no money in the theaters and only later became a cult classic. And to be honest, they're some of the more recognizable characters from that generation, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All that being said, first time watch for both of you guys?
Yep.
No, not for me.
Tyler, you seen it before?
Mm-hmm.
All right, why don't you give us your opinion?
Yeah, upon second viewing, I still don't like this movie.
Okay, not a fan?
Not a fan at all. I just do not get the appeal. The lore behind it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. All the lore I just said.
Yeah,
okay.
that's an interesting aspect of the movie, but the movie itself, I don't like it. And and on top of that, one for history of middle class film class, I don't like musicals. So I'm not surprised that going into this movie I wouldn't like it because it's a musical. So yeah, I mean, and I thought that there was some genuinely well-written comedic like lines in the way that they made some of the comedy. They made it work, but yeah, not a fan.
Give us some of the highlights.
Give me something you do like about it.
Well,
You said there's some well-written lines or like scenarios. What was good?
okay, so one, the car chase scene. Like, well, there's
First one or second
there's multiple ones, but
Yeah.
I liked the second one because you're in it when you're watching it. Like, the action sequence is genuinely very entertaining action, but like from an objective point of view, it's fucking ridiculous.
It's a comedy.
I know, but I mean, I was like watching it and I was like, wow, this is a pretty good car chase scene. But then as more cars keep getting added to the chase, I'm just sitting there like, God damn it.
So that was good. You like that?
Yeah,
Okay,
I really like that. And then yeah, the sewer scene with the Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher.
That was a really well executed.
The most beloved Leia.
I can't imagine what the Coke budget was for this movie.
Actually, there was a Coke budget.
There was.
Yes. they budgeted that into it, and most of it went to Belushi.
Yeah, I figured as much.
There's a lot of good trivia on this.
Yeah, and I think the story, like, get from point A to point B or point A to the end, was really funny in of itself. They need $5,000 to keep the orphanage that they were raised.
Which doesn't seem like that much.
It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Which he says, I'll get that tonight.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want your blood money.
And I thought it was just kind of, I mean, it's just funny because, yeah, like Joseph said, it's like only $5,000. Like, they couldn't muster up $5,000. And so they go on this, like...
You don't have $5,000 you could give her?
Tyler, you don't have do you have $5,000 you could muster up overnight?
Overnight?
Yeah.
You gotta pull some strings, but I think I can make it happen.
Holy shit. I wanted to look up the inflation of it. I just typed in 5,000 and Google autofilled $5,000 in 1980.
AI.
How did it know?
AI.
$14,400 roughly.
Oh, okay. So today.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Enough for Tyler to murder somebody.
Yeah.
I need $14,000. All right, go kill that person. Done and done.
Done and done, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, I mean, like, it has like all the hallmarks of like a well-written comedy. It's just the aspect of it being a musical really takes it out for.
Is it a musical?
I mean, they have a bunch of musical numbers in it. So
Is Oh Brother We're Out There a musical?
I don't know.
Kind of.
It's a musical movie.
I mean,
but is it a musical?
The only thing that would make me say that it is a musical is because of the sirens.
The sirens?
Mm-hmm.
The sirens who's singing to them.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's that scene alone, because like everything else, they're just performing live music for people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's like a musical, like a music biopic is a musical.
I think my favorite comedic.
I don't think so.
My favorite.
But I think it's potato. Honestly, it could be either way.
But anyways, I wasn't a fan of it. My favorite scene was Ray Charles shooting at the kid in the music shop.
It's a damn shame. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, overall.
But the first time you watched it, how long ago?
I was like 14.
Okay, so
And
high school.
When I was when I remember specifically when I watched it for the first time, I was indifferent to it. Like,
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
I did not like it or hate it. I just was like kind of like I watched it at a friend's house because he was obsessed with it, and I was like, okay, it was an okay movie, I guess. I don't know, but then upon a second watching, I was like, I don't like this movie. I won't watch this again.
All right, that's fair. Joseph.
So I kind of like had a similar viewpoint on UP and like going into this movie where I didn't really know much about it. I knew of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get what they were.
What's the point?
I went into it thinking that they were like vigilantes or something.
Oh, interesting.
Like they were like the police or something.
Oh, okay. Like detectives or something.
Yeah, something like that. And and they also did music.
Okay. That story's got legs.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much. I think you should leave. And so there's one sketch where he used the Blues Brother music in it, and that's the first time I heard that song.
Oh, really?
That's that. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. Tim Robinson puts on a hat and glasses, and he's dancing in front of a dog.
Yeah. Okay. As you do.
Yeah. And so when I heard it in this movie, I was like, "Oh, it's this one. It's this one." And I couldn't like get that show out of my mind.
Yeah.
But I knew it was an SNL based thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a sketch on SNL, like you as well. And overall, I thought it was pretty good. The musical aspect didn't really take me out because I like musicals, but I wouldn't say that I like this musical necessarily. What I did expect it to be, being an SNL movie, I thought it was going to be way sillier.
Yeah.
Like Police Academy or something. And the car chase sequence actually felt like it was pulled out of like another movie.
Yeah.
Because it was really well done, and then they just added a sort of comedic twist to it by just adding a bunch of other cars.
Many cars.
The first one through the mall was really good. Well shot. It felt real. Like it felt like fucking Bruce Willis driving through Central Park.
Yeah.
Shot well. Like shooting from like cars drifting and then attaching the camera to the car. A lot of shots like that kind of remind me of French Connection a little bit. And
the second chase definitely felt like French Connection.
Yeah. And it was all really well, like entertaining, and like it was very action heavy for a comedy like this, and jumping cars into trucks and destroying things, and very destructive
cars spinning on their roof.
Yeah, like the cop cars flipping and like doing barrel rolls and stuff. Like it was the action budget and whatever it was they had for that was really like it felt like really well produced. It didn't feel schlocky. Like they didn't speed up, like they sped up the footage in post to make it like look faster. It felt real, and it was like intense for being surrounded by like being such like a comedic movie.
Yeah.
But like the shtick of the Blues Brothers, I didn't really like so much. I don't know what it was, just because like I guess I just don't know who they're supposed to be. They like these Are they supposed to be actually cool guys, or just like wannabe cool guys?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it, to be honest, when I first started watching it.
And I wasn't sure what to take from them, but they were kind of like playing into like we're wannabe cool guys because they would never take the glasses or the hats off. So it was like that was.
But isn't that the coolest thing you can do? To literally never get out of that suit or glasses or hat.
I think that is the joke, though. I think that's the joke, that because they were in that sauna with still the hat and the glasses, and even in prison where they take everything from you, but they let him keep the hat and glasses. Although when he's leaving prison, he doesn't have the hat and glasses, so that doesn't make any sense.
They have to give it to him in prison. It's the only time he gets it taken away from him. Funny scene, by the way.
There was a lot of great actual like filmmaking, especially in the beginning when he's leaving the prison. There's like this tracking shot underneath as he's walking.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. But it was a solidly made movie for an SNL comedy.
This is the movie that John Landis made right before An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He did Animal House and then Kentucky Fried Movie, then Animal House, then this.
Oh, I forgot he did Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was enjoyable for sure. But just not as the car chase sequence was really cool, but the movie around it was not as fun to me as the car chase sequences.
Yeah.
I think the comedy was just like sort of dated, but there were some good moments.
Dated, still did.
The cameos of Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles and was pretty well placed. I'm like, damn, they got these. Like,
what a cast.
It's like high profile singers,
real blues singers.
I mean, Ray Charles at the time, he was kind of already like a little bit older at that point, and
he was on his way out.
He was like almost like a Stan Lee type cameo, where, and then Aretha Franklin being there. I mean, I don't know where she was in her stardom at that point, but it was really interesting. And the musical part of it, I was like, I guess it fit within the movie, being them being musicians and then the musical numbers, but it didn't really bother me that much. But I also like musicals,
So Aretha Franklin released RESPECT, Respect, in 1967. And this is 1980. And she released the song Freedom in 1968, so like the next year.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of like blew up, and then...
So they kind of perform their own songs in these movies.
And I don't know, honestly,
For a moment, I was like, did they make the song for this movie?
Yeah. So I'll get into that in a second.
But yeah, overall it was pretty good. And then the car chase sequence was really good.
Yeah. What do you think it stacks up in your car chase pantheon? As in, because it's not like this is not a car chase scene that is like as impressive, but it does have some merit.
But
to it.
It's a result of sort of other movies.
But is it? For me, they were very entertaining, the car chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we watch? We watched French Connection, Bullet,
Ronin, and Bullet.
I mean, it would be kind of like I like Bullet the most, I think.
I think so too, yeah.
And then Ronin, and then I think maybe this, and then French Connection.
Yeah.
Just because like I had more fun watching this as opposed to like French Connection's chasing.
Yeah.
There was just more involved.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Literally more cars involved.
Literally.
Which I thought was like, I've seen in movies like car chase sequences, like non-comedy movies where there's a bunch of
collisions,
cops.
Yeah.
A bunch of cops chasing. I'm like, is that productive? Is that what's the point of having? You already have one cop chasing.
Get like 5 at most.
Yeah, I mean,
most.
You have the infamous like OJ car chase, and where it's like there's a bunch of cops behind him.
You don't need it.
They're chasing the Bronco.
Have somebody go ahead of them.
Yeah.
Build a barrier. Why don't you?
And they have a helicopter following the car. So
but I understood why don't they just land the helicopter on the freeway
top of it.
on the freeway? So he's like, you have to crash into the helicopter.
Yeah.
I mean,
they just won't do that.
It's kind of a risky move, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Probably got to land pretty quick.
Car chase is a risk,
and helicopters.
They started the risk.
Don't really land that quickly unless you're crashing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So first time watch for me, and again, I'm gonna just like with Bullet, I'm gonna break it into 2 parts. My review is the movie in itself, the story, how enjoyable it was, the writing, the direction, all that kind of stuff, and then the car chasing. So, I still, even after watching the movie, like I liked it overall. Thought it was good. I thought the parts were supposed to be funny were kind of funny, but not like uproarious. I did get a couple laughs, but most of my deep belly laughs came from the car chase scenes and just the non-stop carnage.
Yeah.
103 cars were wrecked during the filming of this movie, which was at the time was a record. It was beaten 2 years later by a movie called The Junk Man, which was 150 cars.
The Junk Man.
And then Matrix 2, Matrix Reloaded, beat it, wrecking over 300 cars for the freeway chasing.
Damn.
Yeah. So I didn't know what the Blues Brothers were, what their shtick was going into the movie, and I still honestly don't know. You know, they say that they're these like basically like a blues performance, and then everyone is like ripping their shirts off, their clothes off to go watch the Blues Brothers, you know, perform live. But like John Belushi is a charismatic guy and a good enough singer, but not to the extent where it's like I would want to go see him live. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like something that I would go out of my way to say, oh, this guy's an accomplished dude. He's like, or him and his brother playing the harmonica at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What I do think they do have is a very, very good look and a very cool like oeuvre to themselves, like this whole like aura that they have. And I think that is very, very important and almost just as important as being talented in like live performance. So, you know, the Gorillaz make good music. Why do people go see the Gorillaz live?
The Gorillaz? Who are the Gorillaz?
The band, the
Gorillaz.
No, it's just called Gorillaz, I thought.
Whatever.
Gorillaz, yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about something else.
Why do people say see Gorillaz live?
Yeah.
There's real humans there, but you don't see them. They're digital renderings of these characters.
Yeah.
Well, they used to be anyway.
Yeah. But I don't ever think they even show themselves when they're performing live. I've seen them
they do now, for sure.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, the last time I saw them like a live performance, it was in like a four square, and you could see their silhouette behind colored, sheets in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're still performing the music live.
Correct.
But you just don't see them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like going to see like, I don't know, like at Dead Mouse or something live.
Sure, and I understand the EDM or the dubstep equivalent to something like that is, you know, you watch a guy basically press play on a song that he already produced.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. But the
It's
environment,
not just pressing play, man.
Sure it is.
No, it isn't.
I'm sure you can riff on the buttons and boo 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 boo.
Yeah.
Look, Skrillex. But even if it was just pressing play, I'm sure it's more than that. You have this like
and pause,
insane like sound system that you're surrounded by, and you're like in the environment with all the people around you and all that kind of stuff, you know. So the whole live performance part of it, that's great. But they're playing all these standard songs, which are like versions. There's a couple originals, but they're basically playing standards, covers from Cab Calloway, covers from Sam and Dave, covers from whoever else it is that they're basically just playing these like almost like a jazz band. You will go watch a jazz band now, you might hear some originals, but you're also going to hear Caravan and Round Midnight and all these classics that are Whiplash.
That's the thing about jazz.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why it's a standard. It's just like it's accepted that you're going to do that. Big bands play this very similar sort of swinging stuff and ragtime or whatever.
Yeah.
But why the Blues Brothers? And when it was all said and done, I was watching them go through this whole thing. You don't hear them really play or sing once until they get to that cowboy band or that cowboy bar, which was a great scene, I think. Super fun. But they're not playing their own songs. So you're like, okay, well, when can I actually see them? I want to see their performance. I want to see the magic that is the Blues Brothers. And you get to this like charity performance at the end that they're going to make all this money and all this stuff. And they sing one song and I'm like, all right, it's good. Pretty good.
It was 1980.
I like it.
Standards were low.
Yeah. And they're more performers than they are anything because they're just dancing and jumping around and doing all these goofy dances and stuff. And I'm like, that's the goofy part of them, the way that it's kind of a not 100% serious. But it's more about the band than it is the two guys in front. So have you ever heard of a band called St. Paul and the Broken Bones? No? The guy who's the lead singer of that band, I'll find it later once we get into it, and I'll play one of the songs. He's about John Belushi size. He's a big fella, and he's got a absolutely phenomenal voice. He sounds like one of the greats of soul music. So good, and it's like I can see going to to see Cab Calloway or John Lee Lewis or one of these, or B.B. King or anybody who is a raw talent, and say, I want to see this guy perform or this girl sing or this guy sing or whatever. And the Blues Brothers, I don't get any of that. So all that aside, so I lose a little bit of a point because of that. I don't feel like what they were going for didn't land for me. But the movie itself was still fun, had some good direction, had a clear A to B. It was a nice like road trip sort of thing. And I liked that they were mysterious and they didn't give you everything.
That's sort of a Muppets plot line.
Yeah, very similar to Muppets. But like the stuff that they don't explain, it's like 4 whole chickens fried and
the lore.
Yeah, and like dry white bread, no water. Dry toasted white bread or whatever.
That's Ellison and Jake.
Yeah. So I liked that. I thought that was really cool, and I liked that they give you the lore of the being brought up in the orphanage, and that she's mystical in some way because she like floats back into the room. And it's like a horror the whole time. She go up the stairs, and this huge crucifix is like leaned up against the wall, and you're like, this does not look good.
Yeah.
John Belushi actually rolled down those stairs on that desk himself. That was him.
Oh, really?
Not a stunt person. He fucked his back up on like the first day of shooting. He was on painkillers and a back brace the rest of the performance and cocaine. So anyway, so all that good enough for the movie. And it kind of reminded me of Strange Brew a little bit. But the car chase were glorious. So fucking fun. I laughed my ass off the entire time. The editing in the car chase scenes, it could have deserved its own Oscar. Because it's like they take a corner, the cop cars crashed in the corner, and then just an onslaught of cop cars continue to come. And they come, and they come, and they come.
And they what?
There you go. And they come, and they come. And they keep coming. And it's like, at one point, one of the cars slides into screen. He's already on its roof.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I remember the chase scene near the beginning of the second chase scene when he's like, I need to stop for gas. And he just immediately drives through the barrier and the cop cars go try to follow him and they just all roll down the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. It's so funny to me. And the destruction that they have going through the mall is unbridled. And they're cool and calm and collected. They're like, oh, look, the new Oldsmobiles are coming out this year a little early. Mm-hmm. Crash in the next place.
Yeah.
Oh, sushi and disco pants. Interesting. We got everything here. Go off to the next place. And then the final scene where they're driving under the elevated train, which is just like French Connection, but this is set in Chicago. They actually drove those cars 120 miles an hour through the real city streets.
God damn.
And they did it. They got permission to do it, and they did the one take. And they said it looked so fake because there was no point of reference for that scene and also them driving really, really fast through the mall that they said, we got to do a second take with extras in there.
Oh,
so then
the bikes and the cars.
All that shit. So they put them in because they said it looked like they sped up the footage because they're going so fast.
Yeah.
And when you see them pegging it to 120, they were really doing that. Imagine a blowout at 120 miles an hour in that old piece of shit Dodge Polara smashing into the risers, the structure of this elevated. It could rip that car in half,
or another car, yeah,
or kill someone. The stunt drivers, So it was so funny. But seeing the visual of like 40 cop cars all crash together, and then they all get out at the same time, like NPCs on Grand Theft Auto, and just start firing away. You're like, this is so ridiculous, and I just loved it. So that increased my enjoyment for the movie like a ton. I really, really had a good time with it. So,
nice.
Any scenes you guys wanted to call out specifically?
The scene where the person asked them, "What are you, cops? Musicians?" I got a cheap laugh out of that, just because it's just like, God damn it! Like it's the delivery was good, but it's just it's so lame. It's so lame. That's why I think I laughed at it because I was disparaging it. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, they're trying really hard to be cool.
Yeah.
Is it effective though? Were they cool, or were they just trying to be cool?
Are they joking to be cool?
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to be too cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get the appeal though. Like, I mean, I think the outfits, they pull them off. Mm-hmm. I think they pull him off really well. Dan Aykroyd doesn't even look like Dan Aykroyd in this movie. You can kind of tell when there's a close up in his face, like his cheek lines, and like his the way his chin looks. But from afar, and I actually forgot Dan Aykroyd was in this movie. I thought it was someone else completely different.
Who do you think it was?
I don't know who.
Chevy Chase.
No,
oh, God,
I didn't think it was Chevy Chase, but I thought it was. I forgot that this was an SNL movie, and I forgot that I knew Belushi was in it, but I didn't know Aykroyd was in it. So, but from afar, like, they look cool. And this is why I watched it too, is because my old middle school friend of mine dressed like that to think he was.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah.
He had a suit.
Yeah,
and the
fedora, the whole thing.
We all went through that weird phase.
And yeah, a lot of people
wear a suit to school.
I've done that.
People made fun of him.
Trick is just don't care. Just let them.
Yeah, I guess. I definitely know that attitude.
So if it wasn't a musical, you would like it more?
Yeah, I think if there was less musical numbers, I would like it more for sure. Because like when they weren't doing the musical numbers, it was like, yeah, entertaining.
Could you appreciate though actually watching the real Cab Calloway sing "Addy Addy Addy Addy"?
I mean, I guess I can, but
is there the song that you've heard like 1,000 times in Looney Tunes and everywhere else?
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, that's a real song that someone wrote and sang.
Yeah.
I've heard that song. I've heard that song somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then in another movie, but I don't know what.
Society has failed us, our generation, because music like that doesn't exist anymore. It probably does somewhere, but we don't know about it. That and "Oh Yeah" by Yellow.
Yeah, I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah.
Definitely the ending, the climactic chase scene was funny, only because they were chasing him because Ellison had
Elwood?
Elwood had an expired license, and that requires the whole police force to go after
It
them?
wasn't just an expired. That's what they pulled him over for. He had 54 moving violations and 170 parking tickets.
Exactly. So like it's like that's in of that itself was funny.
Sorry.
That the reason why they had like the whole damn police, the Chicago PD, was over moving violations.
I made Brianna sit and listen to this entire song start to finish the other day.
How long is it?
3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But you're like, how long can this go on?
Copyright?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean,
What is it about musicals that you don't like?
I don't know.
He doesn't like to enjoy himself.
There's no musical that you do like?
La La Land?
He hasn't watched
I
it.
haven't seen La La
yeah.
Land. I've seen. I think
Annette?
Sweeney Todd would probably rank as my favorite musical, but I don't know why I don't like musicals. It just there's something about them that just turns me off.
Is it the music?
Yeah, I mean,
or is it the fact that they're singing the plot? Or the singing, like, scenes?
I mean, honestly, I can't really give you like a straight answer other than like, because I just don't vibe with them.
Or is it the genre of music that they would be singing?
Yeah, that could be it too. I mean, I've never pinpointed a reason why I don't like musicals. I just never enjoyed them. My sisters like them.
This could never happen. You're telling me they all knew that dance?
No, it doesn't.
They all know the choreo. That's like my mom's take on musicals.
Yeah.
No, that I don't.
It's magical. Also, speaking of magical, there was a subplot where, you know, when they're pulling the car into the really tight parking space in the parking garage?
Yeah.
In the original script, one of the things that Dan Aykroyd wanted is that they explained that they charged the car up in this, like, I don't know if it was a magical charge or some scientific thing, but they basically like supercharged the car while pulling it into this charging bay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it can do all the things that it does. And John Landis is just like, that's too complicated. We're just going to say it's magic. Because when they almost fall off the overpass at some point, he puts it in reverse and the car flies up over backwards like it's doing a flip. And you're like, how could that happen? But then at the same time, the little Ford Pinto or whatever station wagon that the Nazi drives off the cliff.
Yeah.
It's falling from 1,000 feet in the air straight down. Like
it's like there was no cliff nearby.
It's dropped from a helicopter.
Which, did they do that?
Yes.
They dropped a car.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Over a city.
Yeah.
The permission, the amount of money. I mean, what went behind that?
A lot.
That's crazy that they're like, that they greenlit it. That's the thing that that I want to know.
Let's see here. Permission to film in downtown Chicago was given after John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd offered to donate $50,000 to charity after filming, which equates to $178,000 today.
Damn.
Producers rented the Dixie Square Mall in Harvey, Illinois for the mall chase scene. The mall had been closed down for over a year. So after rumors had spread that the community at the mall was being refurbished, it would be reopened after filming complete. Universal was later sued for $87,000, which is $300,000 in inflation, for failure to return the mall to its original condition. They fucking destroyed it and just left it.
Damn.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's see here. When John Landis found out the filming budget was $17.5 million, he half-jokingly said, "I think we've spent that much already." That comes out to about $69 million. Nice.
What? And it didn't do well in the theaters, too.
It did not. At the time, it was one of the most expensive films ever made, costing $30 million.
Damn.
For comparison, Steven Spielberg's film 1941, which was made the last year before that, was $35 million. It was rumored
just below a Spielberg movie.
Yeah, exactly.
A comedy.
Let's see here. Before the filming of the Pinto scene could be filmed, the filmmakers had to get an air unworthiness certificate from the Federal Aviation Administration for the car. Mm-hmm. This was done by conducting preliminary drop tests to ensure that it would drop like a brick when dropped from great heights.
That's so insane.
It's insane that they did this.
Yeah.
They were very ambitious and they went through with it.
They did. They really did.
There's some integrity with that.
Yeah, and they got Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles to join in.
Yeah, it was John Lee Lewis, Ray Charles, Cab Calloway, Aretha Franklin, and Shaka Khan. She was the soloist in the. Oh yeah, and James Brown. Yeah, Priest James Brown.
Priest.
Sweaty ass James Brown. Yeah. That may be the sweatiest man that's ever lived.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see here. There's a couple of interesting. They mentioned that they broke my watch, said at least 3 times during the movie. Each time it's spoken or voiced over by a policeman on the losing end of a car chase with the Blues Brothers. At the 5-minute mark, the broken watch theme starts when Jake's broken watch is returned to him and he's released from prison at the beginning of the film. And then at the shopping mall, and then the rollover in the ditch, and then in the pileup under the elevated train. The original script that the Nazis in Illinois were trying to buy the orphanage and set it up as their new headquarters. Actually, I think that would be a good one. John Wayne's son, Ethan Wayne, was a stunt driver on the film.
Oh.
Interesting. The Italian-American community lobbied to make sure that the line "the mafia is out there" is redubbed over as "the mob is out there" when it was shown on television. So they did a redub edit.
Interesting. When I watched this on Apple TV, so I rented it, it said the theatrical cut on mine.
Interesting. I don't know if there's. I don't read anything about like an extended cut or anything.
It just said I don't know. It said Blues Brothers theatrical cut. So I don't know if that means there's a director's cut.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, they did make a second one.
Yeah, Blues Brothers 2000, released in 1998. Confusingly.
Yeah.
Which had John Goodman instead of John Belushi.
Oh, okay.
In it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because he
Why couldn't they?
Because he died. Belushi died 2 years later.
I was gonna say they couldn't.
2 years later. Oh, after this.
After
movie?
this, yeah.
That's crazy.
In the scene when they're in the apartment complex or the apartment, every single time it cuts back to the window, the train's going by. There's not one shot of the window where the train's not going by.
Oh, really?
And he says, "How often does a train go by?" He goes, "So often you'll forget about it because it just keeps happening. It never stops."
Yeah, they destroy when there's a scene where they're in an apartment.
Oh yeah,
it gets destroyed.
Yeah,
Carrie Fisher destroys the entire building, and they just get up and dust themselves off. And go.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I like that they were essentially indestructible.
Yeah.
They get blown up in the
they're like cartoons.
They get blown up in the payphone booth.
Well, it's funny about that scene specifically is that is they don't even take notice that they just got blown up. They just wake up. They just not wake up, get up and just dust each other off, and then just start walking casually down the street.
I like how she's a mysterious woman. She's in the car, and then she's like, that's the Blues Brothers, and then pulls out a fucking rocket launcher. You're like,
right off the bat.
This is like Wile E. Coyote shit.
Yeah,
I know. It's like a Looney Tunes sort of violence.
Yeah, it really is.
I wonder. I feel like this is a movie or a property that could get rebooted / remade. I mean, I know they tried to do it in Blues Brothers 2000. It seems like, but also has Dan Aykroyd still.
Yeah,
and John Goodman. But I'm like, I could see somebody doing it nowadays. There's content there to be made.
I wouldn't be surprised if just for the fun of it, people who want to
Edgar Wright, Blues Brothers.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
I mean, he already has Baby Driver, which is almost Blues Brothers, except it's just a blues brother.
Supposedly in the Blues Brothers 2000, they ramp up the car chase scene again, and there's even more cars, cop cars crashing on top of each other.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember seeing the scene from there, and they're all driving off of a cliff or something, and they're piling up. It's a literal like a dog pile of cars.
Oh yeah, I feel like
cars.
I feel like I've seen that or something like that in another movie, probably.
The really fun. I really liked the first thing you see about the car when Jake is unhappy about driving the Polara.
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't like this car. You don't like it, huh? And they're at the drawbridge, and he just jumps over the drawbridge, and he goes, "All right, it's got some kick, not too bad." But there's so many, even in the elevated, even elevated train scene underneath, There's cop cars. They're rolling before they even get to the corner they're supposed to roll on. If you look in the back, you can see the ramp that they build.
Oh, really?
It's like a skate ramp, basically, like a rail.
Yeah.
And they just drive up it and it flips it over. And there's like 3 in a row right over it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Really, really loved it. So St. Paul and the Broken Bones, that's the band I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Here's that song.
In what content? Wait, what?
So this is an actual like talented singer who's got a great soulful voice that I'd say.
That's John Belushi build?
White guy John Belushi build.
This ain't the heartache that I thought I knew.
Guy's got actual soul, sounds like a classic.
But this is a modern.
Yeah, this came out in
That I thought we do.
I think like 10 years ago or something like that.
You got your limit,
Soul music.
baby.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
6 and 11, 3, 3, 6 and 9. You got to tell me, baby.
Yeah, they're good.
Totally.
That's their big single called "Call Me," but they have a bunch of albums, and they're still producing stuff to this day.
Okay.
That has 81 million listens on Spotify.
What about their monthly listeners?
1,200,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A decent following.
Verified artists. Go figure.
Wow.
But yeah, the dude he almost looks like Drew Carey. He's got like horn rim glasses,
Yeah.
high and tight. You know, looks like a
Buddy Holly.
looks like a character from The Far Side.
Mm.
Yeah. So, except for he's a big fella.
Oh.
Anything else you guys wanted to specifically bring up?
No, not really. I
Yeah.
don't have anything that I took from it other than the car chase was like sort of the highlight of the whole thing.
Yeah, I would definitely say
What was
the funnest
it was
part of
Carrie
the movie.
Fisher's like reveal was that she was a bride.
Yeah, he abandoned her. I liked his when he was begging for his life, and he throws every excuse in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a flat tire. I got held up. There was a friend in town visiting.
Yeah.
I lost all my money.
The wife is a terrible shot, though.
Oh yeah.
I think it was on purpose, the reason why they did that, but like she was like right there. It was like
I would have hit it, no problem.
yeah.
I would have killed that guy for free. Yeah, I don't know. I loved watching the real blues artists and musicians actually sing their shit.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of it was lip synced and added later, but some of it, like John Lee Lewis, the guitarist in the street, they actually recorded that in the street and they just took the actual take from that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Aretha Franklin did her set 10 times and they just cut it together because she has choreography and dancing and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Interesting that they have the musicians playing sort of the side roles, and then the other people are the musicians. Maybe they're the actual band that were in the blues band.
they were the actual band.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
all the guys that look like the actual Muppets
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
What do they call that? The Electric Street Band or something like that?
Yeah, something like
What's
that.
the Muppets? What?
Muppets band name?
Grok. What is the Muppet band name? Muppet band name. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. That's it.
Dr. Teeth.
That lead singer with the no eyes, with the all eyelashes, that one.
Oh, like her eyes are closed. Yeah.
What a babe.
What a babe.
Yeah. All right.
If you were to sleep with one Muppet.
Definitely an animal. I bet that dude's down for anything.
Try to not jerk off while you're watching this movie.
All right, you guys want to grade this thing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler.
I'll give it a C minus.
Wow, C minus. Dang,
Sorry,
you really didn't
that's
like it.
Incorrect.
I thought it was just like a little bit below average. What makes the movie is the car chase scenes. The two ones, the one in the mall and then the one
Without
at the
those two car chase scenes, what would it be?
end. Without them, yeah, it'd probably be a D.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hear that, listeners? Everyone over the age of 45 right now is coming for you. I hear the pitchforks being
I'm making
sharpened.
a lot of enemies at best grade.
All right, so C minus for Tyler. Joseph, what do you grade Blues Brothers?
Like a B plus.
Cool.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. It was a higher budget than I thought it was going into it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a sort of a cheaply made movie based on like outside like footage, like clips and stuff. They were just low quality clips, I guess. But it was good. It was entertaining, and the car chase sequences were kind of help it a lot. I think.
B plus.
Yeah, so B plus.
All right, I'm gonna go straight B. Yeah, straight B. B's all around, just for me because thank you. Because I think for a movie called The Blues Brothers are the least interesting part of it. Mm-hmm. Like the way that they act in the car chase scenes are perfect. Mm-hmm. But unless you have that insanity going on around you, their like cool, calm, and demeanor is, I think, wasted a little bit on the movie. Mm-hmm. Like I want more from them. You know, what's the joke? What's the punch? What's the whatever? What's the hook? Mm-hmm. And I felt like I was left wanting a little bit more from that. But wonderful musical performances and dynamite, hilarious chase scene. Yeah, so funny. I was gut deep belly laughing throughout the entire second chase scene and most of the first one too. So very good. All right, what's next?
The wheel.
1 wheel, 8 slots, 3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny.
All right. Car Chase May is done. We have one more week in May, which means we're going to be taking a week off, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys can do something, I guess. That's not movie related, but
yeah.
I will not be here.
So in June, we have the 17th, the 14th, the 21st, 20th. So we got 4 Saturdays in June, so we're perfect. We got 4 for there. And the 14th, that's my birthday, Flag Day. Mm-hmm. Also, our dear leader's birthday. Fuck him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I share a birthday with that cunt. And Boy George.
Hell yeah.
Just focus on the Boy George part, even though I heard the Boy George isn't a great human being either.
Who do you share a birthday with? Do you know?
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Macaulay Culkin for me.
Oh, cool. So we'll do next week. Maybe me and Tyler will do something, but Joseph's going to be off to places unknown. Mm-hmm. In Oregon.
Beyond the Pines.
Oh, cool.
I don't know.
Synecdoche.
I don't know.
So now what we have left on the wheel is we've already done.
It's Tyler's.
Yeah, it's gonna have to
be one of Tyler's.
It's gonna be either or the Patreon.
Or Patreon.
Yeah. So we got the Patreon picks locked in. We have from the Patreon, from the Cool Ass Yard Duties, all the Patreons get to vote on the movie for the month, the 4th movie of the week or 4th movie of the month. But only the Cool Ass Yard Duties get to choose a topic. It'll be the entire month we'll dedicate to it. So they have chosen post-apocalyptic dystopias.
Okay.
And 80s or 90s erotic thrillers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Erotic thrillers.
And there is a good handful of boner-inducing movies from those two decades. Thank you. So those are the 2 options, or we have Tyler's options, which are horror movies without the, and detective movies.
A genre he doesn't like.
Yeah, detective movies Tyler does not like.
Yeah, I kind of like them.
I think we discovered last week you don't. But that's okay. I have pre-code movies on here. I haven't seen a single one, so I don't know if I'm gonna like.
I mean, I did spaghetti westerns as a genre, which I didn't necessarily not like, but I had really no interest going into.
Yeah. You want to do the close-up on me so we can see the wheel?
Oh, yeah.
Classmates can see the wheel. All right, so I'm going to spin this one. I might have to spin it a couple times because we have 4 slots left and there's 8 slots on the wheel. So here we go.
What do we got?
It's detective movies. First spin.
Wow.
So the month of June will be Detective June.
Yep.
Cool. Any qualifiers on this, Tyler?
Qualifiers?
Yeah.
Parameters.
Oh,
qualifies as
anything that involves a detective
as a lead role.
And
has to be a lead role.
Yeah, and a case that the detective solves
or doesn't. Sort of a mystery detective movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything off the top of your head?
Oh yeah, you have to give us the movie that you want first. You have to have one.
Chinatown was
Chinatown's
the
gonna
one
be your
I
one?
had in mind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Roman Polanski, huh?
He's in it too.
Yeah, Roman Polanski.
He calls Jack Nicholson's character a kitty cat in the movie. Hey, you're a little nosy little kitty cat, aren't you?
Okay.
Yeah, and he cuts his nose. He's the one that cuts his nose.
Yeah.
Or
He
for
cuts his nose.
He has to be bandaged up for the rest of the film.
Yep.
All right, cool. So detective movies, Chinatown, but we're not doing it this week. We're going to do it next week.
Not next week, the week after.
Yeah, not this week and next week. 2 weeks from today.
All right.
All right, cool. And then the next month after that, so July is going to be guaranteed. It's going to be Patreon.
Patreon July.
That's right, Patreon July. Okay, cool. Anything else you guys got?
Nope, that's it.
Nope.
All right, you want to do the three? So thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, and Chris. Thank you so much, Heather, for coordinating the Patreon pick for the wheel. Sorry, didn't land on it this month. We got one more month to go.
One more.
Yes.
And then we're back to me.
Yeah, then we're back to, well, no, then it was back to
whoever.
That's
true.
Yeah, we're going to reset the wheel. Basically, everyone's off, and it's all fair game. All four, the three hosts and the Patreon are all been picked.
That's right.
Okay, cool. Until next time. Thank you for joining us as we review Aunt Linda's pick, the Blues Brothers from the Patreon, the class agreed upon. Blues Brothers. It was a lot of fun. Follow us in 2 weeks when we review Chinatown, directed by Roman Polanski. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class.
And on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class, and on Twitter at Podcast MCFC.
All right. Not sure if we're going to be here next Saturday, but if we are, tune in. It'll be something different and something fun. See you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later.
See you later.
That's a wrap.
Great show.